I know this video sounds really stupid, but just like any senior trying to date a freshman, hear me out. What type of bike should you buy? A motorbike or a pedal bike? I bet you're thinking, dude, why not a motorbike? You can go places faster and it has an engine. Well, let me tell you, that's probably not all there is to it to commuting. There will be 5 criteria as which I'm basing this off of. It's going to be cost, bar of entry, efficiency, mileage, and usability. These will be rated on a scale of 1 to 5, where 1 is the worst and 5 is the best. So in the end, we're looking for a higher score. So let's get things kicking and start off with a pedal bike. Starting off with cost, I'm going to have to rate it a 4. If you are just trying to build a commuter bike and just trying to go from point A to point B, it's stupid cheap. I've personally built a single speed commuter bike for about $40. And this thing has lasted years. For most commuter bikes, the parts are stupid cheap and it costs next to nothing to maintain them. So if the cost is so good, why am I rating it a 4 out of 5? Because in the world of cycling, price is really subjective. I know people such as myself who commute on a couple $100 bike, and then I know some people who commute on a $10,000 bike. And the maintenance on those things costs as much as a car. I'm currently doing a job right now where the complete overhaul is $320. Or if you break apart or your bike gets stolen, you're gonna be in a world of hurt. Moving on to the bar of entry, I'm again gonna have to give it a 4. Basically, the entry to becoming a kid is riding a bike. Pretty much everyone learns how to ride a bike at some point in their life, but some people do have some physical abilities where it prevents them from actually getting on a bike and pedaling, so that's why it's a 4 out of 5. The distances also depend massively. Most people cannot ride 10 to 20 miles at a time, but if you're in that 1 to 5 mile range of a commute, you're chilling. Rolling into efficiency, I'm gonna have to give it a 3. As stated before, your distances do matter. So if you're riding in a place such as New York City, efficiency is a 5 out of 5 because literally everything is within 10 blocks of you. However, if you are out in like a rural country area, that's gonna be a 1 to 2 rating because you're probably gonna have to bike a good amount to get to where you're going. So might as well take the median and throw it in a 3 category. Also, cycling is a workout, so if you do not have the physical ability to go long distances, your efficiency is gonna go down. This may prevent some from even getting on a bike, or you can use it to lose weight and get more efficient as you bike. It really depends on the individual. Talking relative to mileage, I'm going to have to give it a 2. Again, it massively depends on your physical ability. If you are capable of riding hundreds of miles at a time, this may be a 4 for you. However, this will never be a 5 because you will never be able to go across countries like a motorized vehicle as quickly as a motorized vehicle. And since cycling is so physical, you may get bogged down from the day prior and not be able to go on your ride the next day. And finally, the usability. I'm going to have to give this a 5 out of 5. Firstly, you can put your bike practically anywhere. If you're scared of it getting stolen outdoor, you can take your bike inside of most places and they'll just let you keep it there. Also, relatively, they're very light and maneuverable, and you can go on places where motorcycles or cars can't really go, such as through parks or on sidewalks. And with that, bikes get a final rating of 3.6, about a point above halfway. Not too bad. Now we're going to be moving on to the other type of bike. A motorbike. Starting off with cost, I'm going to have to give it a 2. You will almost never be able to pick up a reliable motorbike for long distances for under $100. However, as stated before, you can get a pedal bike that lasts decades for about $50. Also, the starting price is monumentally more than getting into cycling. Yes, you can get yourself an R6 shitbox for about $2,000 on Facebook Marketplace, or you can get a $60,000 brand new Ducati. And this plays into maintenance costs. Parts on a motorbike are hands down going to be significantly more than a pedal bike. I mean, it is a motorbike, so if you do mess something up, you're probably going to be spending a pretty penny. However, it is really up to the individual. Now, for bar of entry, I'm going to have to give it a 3. Firstly, you have to know how to balance, such as riding a regular bike, and on top of that, you have to essentially know how to drive a manual. Now, for me, it wasn't hard. I picked it up my first time on a motorbike. But thinking relative to the average person, they're gonna be in a world of hurt trying to learn how to do this. Big surprise to moto riders, not everyone is as coordinated as you. All it takes is a high rev and a pop of a clutch, and you're out of luck. Now, efficiency for a motorbike is a bit higher at a 4. You can get anywhere you want as quick or even quicker than a car. This really depends on if you have a license plate on or not, or just aren't scared of the cops because you're riding a piss missile of a liter bike. Also, a good thing is you'll never be limited to your physical ability unless you are on my 600-pound life. The only reason it is a 4 and not a 5 is because you kind of still have to obey traffic laws, and you can't really cut off the beaten path like going on sidewalks or through parks. Now, talking relative to mileage, I bet you can already infer it's going to be a 5 out of 5. All you need is a gas pump and a bike, and you can essentially go anywhere. I already talked about most of the mileage benefits beforehand, so we'll leave it at that. For usability, however, I'm going to have to give it a pretty average rating of 3. Yes, you can go long distances, but you still have to obey traffic laws. Well, not really. You're kind of just more confined to roadways, and you are more susceptible to getting your bike stolen because you can't really put your motorbike in your dorm room, and if you're in an unsafe area, you may be out of luck. For sure, highway riding, you can lane split and definitely go quicker than regular traffic, but in the city, this is pretty dangerous and kind of hard to do. So the benefits of highway riding and the cons of city riding outweigh each other to about a 3. And that brings in the final rating for a motorbike to around a 3.4. For a bicycle to be coming in at a 3.6 and a motorbike at a 3.4 really shows how this is up to opinion. Yes, there is some bias because I am an avid pedal biker, did about 5,500 miles last year, but nonetheless, it is really up to the individual. I would love to one day to buy myself a street bike. I do dabble in dirt bikes and all that stuff, but I feel like a street bike would just be a whole nother world. But this does beg the question, what do you think is better for a commuter means of transportation? A bike or a bike? Let me know down below. If you watch to the end, make sure to like and subscribe. I do post YouTube shorts daily, and have a great rest of your day.